everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hi, I'm Grace. I live and work in London, and my channel is about purposeful singleness, godly relationship principles, and lifestyle. Today I want to share with you a few signs that you might be a nagging wife. For the single ladies, this is to pay attention to some character traits that you are exhibiting presently that might be a potential nagging behavior in marriage. If you're interested in this content, kindly keep watching. So the first that I've identified is you are a very critical person. Instead of you to appreciate situations, at least appreciate people's effort, you always find fault. Even when somebody is making effort to do something right, you see the wrong in the right that they are doing. You are always judgmental, always critical in situations, always fault finding in people. That might be a potential behavior for a nagging wife. It translates to be that in marriage, when your husband is making effort to make you happy, make life comfortable for you, looking after you, you will see his fault more than his effort. Instead of you to appreciate that he's putting effort to make your marriage work, you will see the wrongdoings that is maybe not even aware of, and you blow this out of proportion instead of paying attention to the good things that he is doing. The second one that is a pointer that you might potentially be a nagging wife is you are contentious. You are always striving. You are basically a fighter, not in a positive sense now. You are very controversial. You are always provoking arguments. You are so used to chaos. Peace is like an abnormal situation to you. You just want to cause problems. You just want to find fault and fight it out. And in situations that do not even warrant reactions, you react to every single thing in a negative way. Maybe sis, you are a potential nagging wife in the making. The third one that I've identified is that easily triggered. Little things bring out reaction in you, even when this other party do not intend so. You read meanings to situation, even when this person is explaining to you, no, I don't mean it that way. You blow things out of proportion and you get easily triggered and angered. This comes from a place of seeing things always in the negative light. You always have the pessimistic perspective of situation instead of you to understand from the other party's point of view and find a way to, come to a common ground on sharing views and perspective. The next one is you always think you are right. You are never self-reflecting. You always think in every situation you're on the right side, always proving I am right in every situation. You see yourself so perfect and see every other person as imperfect, right? You have a moral standard of yourself that makes you feel like every other person is in the wrong and you are always in the right. This might be a sign that you are a potential nagging wife in the making. The next one is you can't competently hold conversations without turning it into arguments. Conversations are meant to be communication between two parties where somebody says their point of view and the other party listens to respond and not to react. But when you are conversing with people, you are looking for ways to fight back, to react and not to respond. You don't listen to respond, to understand, you listen to react, right? The next one is you are always shifting blame. Even in situations where you are obviously the one at fault, you are not open-minded enough to accept fault. You are very defensive and you project even your own fault in situations to people. You project it as it is because of what they did that make you act this way. Instead of you to change your ways and do better in the future, you always try to explain away your actions. Instead of you to apologize and be sober and promise not to do it subsequent times, you always explain away your actions, shift blame in situations where you are obviously wrong. Sis, you might be a nagging wife in the making. Kindly pay attention. When you want to correct people, you accuse them and point fingers. You ultimately want to invalidate people when correcting them instead of you to correct from an objective standpoint and at least from an empathic standpoint. You always want to invalidate people for little mistake. The next one is your social media content are always about fighting imaginary battles. You believe people are not faithful. You've met so many negative people in your life such that you don't trust anyone anymore. Your social media is about the disagreement that you had with your friend 5 years ago, how people are unfaithful. It translates to this: when you have disagreement with your husband, you always bring it to the net. You can't amicably resolve conflict privately. Every other person that is not involved while this conflict happened will hear about it. The next one is, in every relationship that you have been, you are always the one causing conflict. And you have not been able to successfully sustain relationship for 5 years, for 10 years. You presently do not have anybody in your life that you've known for years. Somehow they fizzled out. Somehow you've outgrown them. I'm not undermining the place of outgrowing people. You do, but when the case is you cannot even sustain friendship for 5 years, you outgrow everybody, you separate with conflict. Even if you want to separate from people, do it in a healthy way, right? So if your case is the case of you having problems in every relationship that you have been, both male and female, and you are always the one causing conflict, always the one that will not agree to things, always the one finding fault, sis, I don't know how you plan to sustain your marriage for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years till Jesus come if you are not able to successfully sustain relationship of 5 years with your female friends, with some of your male acquaintances. How do you think you can sustain a marriage for longer years? So this might be a reflection of the kind of relationship that you would have in marriage. Kindly take note and do not breed nagging character while you are still single. The last one, you have the mentality that men has come. You've experienced so many negative men in your life that you don't even believe faithful men exist. The implication of this is that even when God gives you a faithful husband, you will still think he's a scum. You will relate with him from the place of suspicion and not from the place of trust. Even when he's making effort to make things work, you will think he's fake. You will think he's trying to scam you because men has come. Sis, you need to change that perspective and start seeing things in the positive light and all that. Extra, second to the last one, which is the extra point for me, is you gossip. You are practically a vessel for gossip. You enjoy talking down on other people behind their backs. You do it for survival. In every relationship that you have been, you're always gossiping about friend A to friend C and friend C to friend A. You are the link of gossip among friends. Sis, the implication in marriage is this: you will gossip about your husband to your friends, to his enemies unknowingly, to your relatives. You can't possibly keep the secret of disagreements that you have with your husband. You will have disagreement with your husband after nagging him at home. You will still take that outside. Everybody must know that you had a disagreement with your husband. That is the implication in marriage, and I promise you, it doesn't look great. Nah, kindly work on it. The last extra point is the sisters that are so great in keeping malice. These kind of people, they boast in the fact that they're able to sustain not talking to a former friend for 5 years, for 10 years. In fact, if I keep malice with you, I won't talk to you till Jesus comes. Sis, it's nothing to brag about. It's a very negative outlook. Check it out. You don't want to come to marriage and your husband is finding it hard to talk to you just because you had disagreement. You are not even ready to talk about the disagreement and find a way forward. You want to hold on to past offenses and just give him the silent treatment. If right now you are keeping malice at every point of disagreement you have with your female friends, maybe with your siblings, you will have to successfully keep malice for months before you let go of offenses. Sis, just maybe you're a potential nagging wife in the making. And let me burst your bubble. So many single women pride in the fact that, oh, I'm going to be a great wife, I can cook, I'm very great at domestic chores and all of that. They think this automatically makes them a great wife in the making. I've met somebody that said she thought she was a great wife until she actually got married. And that is when reality will dawn on you, that all these little traits and characters that you are neglecting and you think it's no big deal will sum up to make you a not healthy wife in marriage. You can't automatically change because of marriage. It is who you are now that will reflect later on. So check it. Everything that I've listed, I know it is not restricted to this. If you have others that have not shared, kindly drop in the comment section and let's help our fellow single sisters. This is not to call anyone out. This is not to point accusing fingers. It's for deep reflection and intentional work to be a better person. And most importantly, to be a better potential wife in the making. If you enjoyed this video, kindly give it a thumbs up, drop your thoughts in the comment section. I will be so willing to read. Share with your friends. Do not limit it to this space alone. Let's have a wider reach. Until next time on my channel, keep being great, guys. Bye bye.